If you could answer one question, and that answer, if you truly followed it, would have the biggest impact on your financial life moving forward, what's that question? And as importantly, how would you answer it? I've got that question and more coming up. Kind of cheesy, but here at Korhorn Financial Group, we celebrate work anniversaries. So when you pass your 1 year, yeah, we celebrate that. Your 2 year, we celebrate that. Doesn't matter. Once a month, we celebrate everyone having a work anniversary for that month. And yeah, you get a gift card and go to lunch. And yeah, I mean, we celebrate that, right? A little cheesy, maybe not super cheesy. In confession time, I actually just a couple of weeks ago had my work anniversary here at KFG, 23 years. I'm officially in my 24th year, and I interned a little bit before that too. So 23 years, and man, a lot has changed. I had a lot more hair back then, and these lights and camera, you can tell I don't have as much as I used to, and my style was terrible. And yeah, I think I was the sixth or seventh employee at KFG. Now we're well over 100. A lot has changed. And yet, at the time, I had this insatiable curiosity and hunger to figure out how to plan and strategies for finances and this yearning to share it with people and help people. And so in some ways, some things really haven't changed that much as well. Well, if I could go back to that individual at the beginning of his career, 23 years ago, and give him some advice, financial advice. I'd give a lot of life advice, but if I could give financial advice, I would. And if you could right now go back, and this isn't the question, but if you could go back and give yourself some financial advice when you were starting your career, what would you say? I would have said, even though I was saving very aggressively, I started saving 15% from my very first paycheck towards retirement, and because we eat our own cooking. So that's what I'm telling you to do. That's what I did. And yet I would go back and say, I bet you could save a little bit more. And every dollar counts. I bet you could save a little bit more. I would also have said, Roth, please Roth. And you might say, Mike, you weren't doing, guys, this 03 and 04. The Roth was around and I was teaching it to people, but it wasn't this thing. And we didn't know what taxes were going to do or the deficit, what it was going to do. I mean, we had just been balancing the budget for a few years, and Roth, oh my goodness, desperately Roth. I would have said invest in relationships. Yep, because I was so focused on my career and I moved away, lost touch with many people that I love and care about. And I would have said, Cindy's the one, by the way. Get up the courage to ask her out. It took me a while, guys, by the way. It took me a long while. I was very nervous, months here. And I would have said invest in your health. And you might say, well, wait, that's some of the life advice. Yeah, in the same way, it impacts your finances as well. That's the advice I would have given myself at the beginning of my career. So for you, again, this is not the question, but interesting to think about. The beginning of your career, if you could go back and give yourself some financial advice, what would it be? Because maybe there's someone in your life that's that age and they need to hear that advice. But listen, you can't go back, right? And you can't go forward either. This is all you get. This is all we get, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's like as awful as that reality sounds, and hopefully you're following. This is deep question here and deep video, but so now, here's the question. Imagine yourself 20 years from today. 20 years from today, if you could go back and give yourself some advice right now, what do you think it would be? Think of your 20-year-old self. And if you need to, pause the video, close your eyes, think about yourself. And there's even some apps that show, what would you look like 20 years from now? It's frightening for me, by the way. It feels like it's happening in real time, how quickly I'm losing my hair. But I mean, picture yourself. What does life look like? Are you still working? Do you have grandkids? What's important to you? Right? What's important to you? I think even that, like being aware of that strips away this like daily urge to, I got to save up, or I need it, whatever. Like what's important to you 20 years from now? What does life look like? What advice would you give yourself today? Do this financially. This is what you should do. I'm curious how you would answer. And I would love for you to comment below and comment. And if that sparks you a question, leave that below as well. I'll create some video. I'd love to help you with whatever's going through your mind right now. But I think that'd be a helpful exercise. And I'll start. I'll tell you. And I've got a chance to think about this. There wasn't this huge epiphany. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. This was just sort of coming to me on the fly, and I would tell myself, I bet I could save a little bit more. 20 years from now, trying to give myself advice today, I bet I would say, I bet you can save a little bit more. I think I would also say Roth. I think I would, and you know that's what I would say. I think I would say invest in relationships. Even it's not too late to repair some of those that have been lost, and saving up money and having more money isn't worth spending that money alone or without deep relationships. I think I would say invest in your health. And even from a financial standpoint, guys, 20 years from now, I'm going to be on Medicare. The Medicare that, the price I'm going to pay, or my options, is going to be dependent on my health, right? Will I have the flexibility to be able to make changes or whatever? It's going to be dependent on my health, my quality of life, and my, my cost structure is going to be dependent on my health. So invest in my health. I think I'd say that. Those are the first things that come to mind. And if you haven't picked up on it, yeah, that's the same advice I would have given myself at the beginning of my career. And there's probably more. I've thought about this deeply, but not a long time, and will continue to do. And I hope you do as well, because I think, what if you answered this question? That imagine yourself 20 years from now. What financial advice would you give yourself today? What life advice would you give yourself today? And if you answered it and then truly followed through on that answer, I think of all the strategy and all the fun stuff financially, I think that could lead to the biggest potential change and the biggest growth in your financial life more than anything else. Incorporating, right, all of that, whatever advice, into looking at your entire financial picture, all 6 areas, strategy and execution, but so that you can build a life, not just build your finances, so that your finances are there to fulfill the life that you're called to and that you want to live. That is really the job of your CFP, not to construct your life or whatever, but to structure your finances so you have clarity, competence, and creativity, and then have calm. That those finances are there so that you can live the life that you want to and that you're envisioning. Do that exercise and work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.